The weather looks nice today and there sure are a lot of boats. I guess it'll make some interesting captions when I fly the drone, huh? With that in mind, what did I read today? Today is July the 4th and people in the US will be celebrating, so happy July 4th for all the American viewers. Although with that in mind, there's war around the world still. How about this one, where apparently there was a massive drone strike between Russia and Ukraine? This one here says Russia launches largest missile and drone barrage on Kyiv since war in Ukraine began. Waves of drones and missiles targeted Kyiv overnight in the largest aerial assault since Russia's invasion of Ukraine began more than 3 years ago. Officials said Friday amid a renewed Russian push to capture more of its neighbor's land. The 7-hour bombardment of Kyiv caused severe damages across multiple districts of the capital in a 7-hour onslaught, authorities said. Blasts lit up the night sky and echoed across the city as air raid sirens wailed. The blue lights of emergency vehicles reflected off high-rise buildings and debris blocked city streets. It was a harsh, sleepless night. So what type of drones were used? Apparently they were those Shahed ones you read in the news a lot. And it says Russia launched about 550 drones and missiles across Ukraine. Some of the videos were crazy too, just in terms of the explosions. People got up close and personal views right from their building, it seems like. How terrified would you be? And with that thought, actually, in terms of Shahed drones and all that, when we think of drones, let's just say used in war, a lot of us are probably thinking something along the lines of, let's just say like a Mavic or maybe even like a Matrice-sized drone carrying something. But how about this one where somebody posted, I guess, a picture of them posing with a kamikaze drone that crashed? Look how big this is. And the guy writes here, when Ukrainians say that hundreds of Russian kamikaze drones are attacking Ukraine, most of you probably don't realize just how big they actually are. Now do you understand what Ukrainians have to face every single day? I mean, that's true for a lot of people. They don't actually think it's that big for a kamikaze drone per se. Although the ironic thing is the guy's kind of smiling here in the picture, and war is nothing to be, I guess, smiling about, and there's no end in sight currently, huh? And in terms of things in the air, apparently China is getting aggressive again with its low altitude economy, and now they're mass producing a passenger drone of sort. So this one is apparently GAC Group's Govy AirCAb, and it was unveiled at the 2025 Hong Kong International Auto and Supply Chain Expo. So it says here it's a 2-seater eVTOL and it's designed obviously for urban air mobility. It's lightweight with carbon fiber construction and it goes approximately 18.6 miles per charge according to this, with the charging time about 25 minutes. It has a bunch of cloud-based systems for, let's just say, self-checks and flight redundancy. As well, it has 5G, voice assistance, and all that stuff to do it remotely, I would assume, if they need to change something. And what about the price? Apparently, it comes in at $233,000, so not exactly cheap as it is a premium option per se. Will you be seeing more of this everywhere? I guess you have to keep in mind too, with all the geopolitical tensions between, for example, US and China, you probably won't be seeing this drone in particular in those areas, although they do say they have partnerships with companies like Toyota and Honda. They always say we're going to all be in flying cars and so forth, way back in the year 2000. That still hasn't happened yet anyways, but at the same time, China is getting aggressive with all their drone developments per se, and as well their low altitude economy. And how about this piece of news? With the hotter weather here, you could expect things like wildfire and as well potentially people getting stuck in areas where search and rescue would need to get them out. But how about this one where someone was rescued and he was arrested and sent to jail? This was a stranded man plucked off cliff amid BC wildfire lands in jail. There's been an unusual addition to a wildfire fight in steep terrain burning near Hope, BC. RCMP says their officers arrived to help other first responders on Thursday as the fire burned on the side of a mountain when they heard a man yelling for help. Once the fire was contained in the area, police say search and rescue crews found a 27-year-old man stranded on the face of a cliff. The man was taken out by a helicopter long line and wasn't hurt, but it turns out there were several warrants out for his arrest and he was taken into custody. Can you imagine that? It makes me wonder what is going through the guy's head too, knowing there's a warrant for his arrest. If you're in that situation and you need help, but at the same time you know getting help will likely land you in jail because you'll get caught, would you think twice actually in terms of calling for help? I guess he thought it was a good idea to hide in the middle of nowhere, but that didn't turn out to be the case, huh? Alright, see you guys later.